If you want to go green, you first need to be conscious. So welcome to Conscious Lifestyles with Ginger Leilani Chapin.
Hey there, welcome to the show. I have two fabulous guests today joining us. My first guest is Marlon Pando of White Lotus Home. They are located in New Jersey. They have a showroom in New Jersey and I believe also one in Brooklyn. You know, Marlon, I want to thank you for being on my show because it is a very dark world out there when you try to go green for the interior of your home. I just spoke to a very well-known interior designer in the LA area, and they have a few of them on the West Coast who are very well-known and very good. And I was telling her about, you know, when you're on the East Coast or any other part of the country in America, and not to mention in the UK or in Europe, it's very hard to find people who are up and running, so to speak, with going green in the interior design area, and that includes upholstery. Thank you, Marlon, for being on my show because you're such a great resource.
Thank you, Ginger. I'm glad that I'm part of the show, and I'm here to help any listeners find whatever they need for their interior design needs.
Yeah, and I love that. You know, you guys, where is your showroom in Brooklyn?
We are located in a cool area of Brooklyn called Dumbo, Brooklyn.
Okay.
The address is 61 Pearl Street. 61 Pearl Street in Brooklyn, New York.
Okay,
and we're right under the Brooklyn Bridge, which is pretty famous around here.
Yeah, and where are you? Where's your home office in New Jersey?
It's located at 431 Raritan Avenue, Highland Park, New Jersey.
Okay. You know what I love about you is that I love working with the people that you have. You have a very good staff. When I call White Lotus Home, now I've been working with White Lotus Home on and off for almost 10 years. They're a very good resource, and I want to repeat your website. It's whitelotus.net. You also ship all over the country. What I love about you is that you work with both the consumer and you work with upholsterers. So you work with the trade, but you also work with the consumer, which is fabulous because that's so hard to find.
Right. And, you know, one of the things that we keep in mind at White Lotus Home is while we're running a green business, we have to keep our business hats on and our MBA's hats on. So we like to be here not just for the customers, but also people that are reaching out, their own customers. Which is why we cater to interior designers and people doing a lot of custom work as well.
Mm-hmm. Now, I want you to just briefly tell us the story of White Lotus, how you got involved in going green with people's interiors. And let me tell you, before you tell us that story, recently Robert Redford's son did a wonderful documentary on the dangers of the upholstery in your house, including your beds. They are loaded with very toxic chemicals, very toxic. And most of them are flame retardants that they're putting in there, but they're also putting in foam chemicals that are known carcinogens, and they attach to the dust in your house. Don't think, oh, well, it's upholstered. You've got fabric over that. Oh, no. It gets out. And it showed in the documentary a little girl jumping on a sofa and all of the dust going everywhere and how they're breathing that in. Animals and children, they're closer to the floor. And how many children are coming down with very mysterious diseases, more so than any other time in history, along with our beloved animals, right? So be careful of that, people. Don't think, oh, going green is for the crowd that really, thinks that they're special. That's not true. Going green is for everybody because it affects your health, the health of your pets, the health of your children, the health of anyone. And the elderly, especially the elderly, are very, very vulnerable. So tell us a little bit about White Lotus and how you started to go green and how you got involved.
Sure, Ginger. And you made some very good and strong points, which please, if I don't cover them all, make sure you remind me. So to tell you a little bit about White Lotus, the great stories, maybe we have thousands of great stories to tell, but the one way I like to start is that in 1981, the same day as Earth Day, White Lotus Home was established by two amazing women who are no longer in the business, but they owned it for the first 15 years of White Lotus Home. Their vision was to offer green and organic, U.S.-made bedding to people that were looking for something that was chemical-free, reduce their exposure to chemicals, of course, and reduce the chances of having more allergies and chemical sensitivities.
Mm-hmm.
Soon after, another gentleman took over, and I came into the business about 8 years ago as a general manager. 11 months of me being a general manager, I bought the company over, and 8 years later is where we're at today.
Mm-hmm.
So what we did with the company is we went from being two establishments in New Jersey, to now we are we have a big establishment in New Jersey, in Highland Park, New Jersey, and we've been focusing on our website, whitelotus.net,
mm-hmm.
to introduce green bedding, green fibers all over the United States. So right now, there are about 100 different sites that carry our products, and close to 40 different stores, brick-and-mortar stores all over the U.S. that carry our products.
Okay. Well, that's... go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm saying it's not anywhere, but so that's what we do. And then, so the focus has been how do we continue to grow and stay, as much as we can, small business minded, but the idea is to be also all over the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And the way we've done that is we've adapted things that you don't see traditionally, which is we make mattresses, pillows, and bedding, but we also do cushions, covers, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of us just doing that, we offer our clients the ability to order cotton, organic fabrics, organic wool, organic cotton as well, and other fibers, so they can make their own projects and create their own projects.
Just off the top of my head, you've got kapok, you've got organic
mm-hmm.
cotton, you have wool, which is like an organic wool. You also mm-hmm. have a non-toxic foam, and you also mm-hmm. have what's really big in the green building and green furniture business is latex, and you have the Talalay latex, which is the highest quality of latex. So you've got a lot of choices there, and you also have the shredded latex. Now, I know mm-hmm. all this because I've used White Lotus Home for so long, okay? I've got pillows. I had a set of wicker furniture that came just as wicker furniture, and I needed to put my own pillows, my own mm-hmm. seating in there. And, of course, I called White Lotus Home. I gave the dimensions of what I needed, and I had it made, and that was about 10 years ago. So, and that's the wonderful thing is that you're a resource on the East Coast. It's very difficult to find people on the East Coast who understand this. I've given mm-hmm. your name to a couple of upholsterers in my neck of the woods because they were just unknowledgeable, and it's very disappointing. They just kind of give up. They don't do anything about it, and then they claim, well, they have to buy in bulk, and that's why they can't do it because nobody wants to pay for, all the money that it's going to cost. And I say that's not true. If you go to a place like White Lotus Home, you can buy for that particular sofa or that particular chair that you're making for that client, right?
Right. No, you got it all right. Definitely. We do deal with a lot of interior designers. We have special agreements with them as well. But at any point, if they want to just buy a handful of any of our fibers, which is, I believe, 5 to 100 pounds of any of our organic cotton, the wool, the
mm-hmm.
kapok, shredded foam, or latex, they're able to just do that at a smaller scale. And once they see a need for a lot more is when normally is when they become a client, they fill out the application, and they just put their orders in as often as they want.
Mm-hmm.
And we do ship all over the country, but of course Northeast is we're becoming a lot more popular.
Mm-hmm.
Folks are are not able to access our fibers in this part of the country.
Yeah, and I think that's a very important key point. I have listeners all over the country and around the world, but I want everybody who's listening right now to understand there is a desperate need for all of us to wake up, because the chemicals that are the dangerous chemicals that are put into all other furniture that is not labeled organic, non-toxic is highly, highly dangerous. And you can start to list the cancers and the other autoimmune diseases that start to crop up because of this constant. Remember, when you're sitting on the sofa, when you're laying in bed for 8-9 hours a night, you are breathing all of that in. It is highly toxic to you and to everyone else. When we come back from the break, we're going to talk about firefighters and how they've gotten sick, and other individuals and other groups who've popped up saying, wait a minute, there's something wrong with what we're putting in our upholstery. So we'll be right back. This is Conscious Lifestyles.